And are you ready for the reset? Gina, honey, what type of reset are you talking about? I'm talking about that reset people been talking about, but it was given a different type of a spin. Yes, that's the one I'm talking about. I am. And I don't think some people are ready. I really don't think some people are ready. I think some people are thinking a totally different reset coming. It ain't going to be what some people think it's going to be. That's right. Hello. You all, hello. We got a reset coming. We do. It's in the works. Good morning. It is in the works. Hello there, daughter of the Most High. Um, the shift, are we going to have a big paradigm shift? Hello there in Australia. Siberia. Wow, that's really far over there. It's pretty cold there in Siberia. That's all right. Good morning. Good morning, you all. I can come on here in the morning and I don't even have to fix my hair. I don't. I don't have to do it because it's just me. That's right. Yes. Yes, the white light. It's going to happen. Good morning in Louisiana. Yeah, Betty Zoom, honey. It'll be all right. It will be. Yeah. Good morning in the Tampa Bay. Yeah. The real deal. Good morning, you all. So you ready for that great reset? Because you know, if you want to put what you've heard about the great reset in this comment section, you go right ahead. I want you to. I want you to put in the comment section because I don't really get out there. I've heard rumors of it for a long, long time. I have, long time. And there's been many different types of theories concerning the Great Reset. I've always adhered to my own theory, but I like to hear the different theories. I do. Yes, I did. That, Donnie Payne, honey. That's, yes, that's right. That is really the gist of it. I already own nothing, and I'm still not happy. That's right. Yes, 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 yes. Um, yes, Myron, the Nasera Gesera. I know the people are looking forward to the Nasera Gesera. Are you going to be really happy when the Great Reset happens? Are you really going to be really happy? Is it all going to be what we have heard some to make it? Is it? It might take some by surprise. It really might. Um, you need the injection of the galactic um Mariki Fauci. You want the reset out of the planet. Good morning. Yes. You're very worried because you had twice where you were spoken with God's face, a God in heaven. I went through the golden gates and two angels with golden books, Gavin, honey. Yeah. Well, there are already like insect stuff in the food system, you all. There is. Deveray Greenwood. Yes, 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 yes. That's exactly right. A great distribution from wealthy nations. Reparations. Reparations from wealthy nations to third world country. Your nation, if it's wealthy, it will pay. That's part of the Great Reset. That's part of the reset, you all. Yeah, that's right, you are. I'm just looking at the comments. I want to see. I really, really want to see. Um, Michelle, we don't know the difference between reality and AI. Mr. Musk did say that one day. He said AI will become so advanced, you will not be able to tell the difference, especially online. You won't know if you're dealing with a real person or not. Edwin the Crow. It's the yes, we said yes. That's right. I've heard that. I kind of lean toward that, but I want to hear the other ones. If it's the world wrestling, let's talk about that. Let's call it the WW, the World Wrestling Federation. Let's do it that. That we're talking about. It's not a happy thing, you all. Some people ain't gonna be happy. Some people are looking really forward to this because it's really been ramped up. It's really been ramped up, and it's been given a sweet overture to it. Really, it's like a sweet aroma in the air for some people. They want to hear about the Sarah Sarah and the Great Reset. It's been sent out there with a sweet aroma. It has. I've got cold coffee. But you all, yeah, I want to hear it. You never looked up as much as I do. Oh, it's all good. That's wonderful. Cat Honey. Cat Moonstar. Yeah, something. Well, with that great reset, you will be tracked. Everything you spend your money on, honey, you're going to be tracked. There will be a digital track of everything that money, wherever that money touched digitally, it will be tracked. That's part of the Great Reset. They want to protect you, you all. They want to protect against money laundering. That's right, because now when you got physical things, you can do some types of stuff like that and you can't be tracked. But with this Great Reset, which is going to be really wonderful, this is the aroma is being put out this in the air. It's going to be absolutely wonderful, and they will be able to fight against the corruption worldwide. Yes, you all, we know about it. We do. That's right. Yes, Deveray, no more cheating, no more hoarding money. Yeah, you will not be able to cheat with your money. You will not be able to take your money. Now, talk about money. Remember the Vatican? He had to have, this is true, all the money brought back. Remember, all around the world, all the churches, it was something like an edict that went out across the whole land, the whole breadth of the earth. All the monies is to be returned to the Vatican by, when was it? This was really big deal. This is part of the Great Reset. This is part of the Great Reset. Um, Watch this, you all. Let's do it, because we did video on this and it was really wild. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, look at this. Paper money. Oh, I thought it said Pope money. But yeah, it was the paper money, the things right here. He instructed the Vatican entities to move all the funds to the Vatican Bank by September the 30th. And that was true, you all. That ain't no joke. For those who think, oh, it never did happen. Oh, it did happen. All the physical money, everything physical needed to be sent over there. All of it, everything transferred to the Vatican Bank, you all. Excuse me. So he did that. That's part of the Great Reset, you all. The Great Reset is supposed to be really good, you all, this reset. That's right. People have been really looking forward to it. They've been told it's going to bring, I think they've been told it's going to change everything. It is. And it's going to level the playing field and all of that, you all. Hello. Yeah, Monica, honey. Yes, it was Marie Swan Daily Grind. October the 31st, return it back. Yes. Daughter of the Most High. That's right. Watch the documentary. No, Charlie Yellowstone, honey. Gina ain't doing that, and Gina will not promote it. I will not watch it. I won't. There's a lot of people aware of that stuff like that. But I read one little bitty thing about it. And of course, I know exactly what it's about, and I'm not gonna talk about it because everybody's talking about it, and you can draw your own. You can come to your own conclusions. You can. It's a distraction also, even though I'm not going to say it's not happening, because it's happening. Okay, in your opinion, the reset will be marked only by a person or power. Ras de Bas. Yes. Only God owns our land and country. But yeah, there will be a great wealth distribution take place by the wealthy nations of the world, and they will pay reparations to the third world country. There'll be a big power shift in that way, according to Mr. Schwab and Mr. Gates. You all, that's right. That's right with the G20. Yes, they showed up. They did show up, you all. They got to talk about the Great Reset. They do, Mr. Schwab and Mr. Gates. That's right. The transfer of the wealth like that. They can do it. They will do it. You all, are you ready for this reset? That's right. Let's see. A shroud has no pockets. Oh, Ian, honey, that's right. Oh, yes, Nathan, honey, that's right. The redistribution of wealth. And because, see, the Pope knew that it was coming. The Pope knew this was coming ahead of time because he somehow got inside knowledge. He got inside knowledge, you all. Inside knowledge. Why do you say Vatican entities? Entities, Vatican entities. To move all the funds to the Holy See. They ordered the Holy See and connected entities to move all the financial assets to the Institute for Works and Religion. Well, once the reset, honey, you all, come on, let's talk about this. Once the reset goes into place, well, everything you spend your money on, when it said it's going to take 2 years to, really like get out there, but it's going to be in a trial run. We're going to have 12 weeks. 12 weeks, you all. That's what they're going to do. They said it. They did say it. With this great reset, with this reset, it's going to be used. You see, because they didn't do this. You all, come on now. You got to talk about this, you all. That people have been pumped and primed that it's going to be the best thing. They are. And it's gonna do some good for some people. It is, but I'm it's in my being. When I first heard about it and how it was going out, I thought, Okay, fine, yeah." I don't. I opened my mouth several times about the Gessera, the Nacera, and all of this, but it is going to be a revamping. You all, just be prepared to have your whole financial world revamped. That's exactly right. So look at this. Look at this, you all. The digital dollar begins in the U.S. The G20 was used to advance the Great Reset. Yes, it was, you all. It was. It was. It was. It really was. And now you all, come on, let's listen to this. It is not, no, an experimental thing, you all. They already got it. It's called the tether, the U.S. dollar tether, being wrote out, look at this, by the Federal Reserve of New York. This has all been happening for quite a while. And these companies right here, you all, let's look at this. These companies right here, I do these B-rated videos when I got stuff like this to get out. B-rated. We can do a B-rated. This ain't no fancy share the screen video, you all. We got to get it out like this. We do. We got to make it B-rated. That's right. So they're going to do their experiment. They decided this at the G20, and Mr. Schwab and Gates were there, you all, because they got to help in the advancing of the Great Reset. This is where your wealth distribution from the wealthy nations, you will pay. It will be redistributed to the third world countries and stuff like that. You too will become a third world country, more or less. They got to level the playing field, and all the players have been in place, you all. I don't get upset really who is president. I really don't, because I know that there is a big picture. I've always looked at the big picture in life, like a lot of people. The big picture, we know that what you see is not all there is. It's like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. It is, until she pulled that curtain. She pulled that curtain, you all. Come on, let's talk about this. Yes, the people will be marching. Well, that's okay. E.T. the God. Oh, I thought you said E.T. the God. Yeah. All those people that be marching and protesting, you need to go back home. Go back home, you all, because it ain't going to do you no good. You're going to get yourself in trouble. Now, I don't know what you're referring to, but I'm not one who's going to go out and do that, because that's not my calling. I know there's are things, you all, it's like, God, grant me the wisdom. Let me grant me the something. I've already forgot it. It's been in my mind for a long time. and I can't remember it. The serenity prayer, the serenity prayer. Grant me the courage to change the things that I can, or something like that. The wisdom to know the difference, you all. That's right. The wisdom. There is wisdom that is called for. There are things on this earth that you cannot personally, on a personal level, even in a great big protesting level like that, you cannot change, because these powers are far greater than you could ever imagine. You may have some type of a grasp of how powerful these powers are, but you can't even grasp a single thread of the power. You can't even, you can't. It's much bigger than you. That's right. In the order of the, yes, in the digitization, in the order for the digitization to work. Yes, it has to work. That's right. That's exactly right. Because if it goes down, there is no good. You are, listen to the ET guy. Listen to ET guy. If in order for this digitization to work, the grid has to work 100%. And if it falls, then what? That's true. If it falls, then what? I know that a lot of people have been saying the grid going to go down, grid out. There's a lot of stuff been happening. They're telling you a lot of things that are going to happen. A lot of different scenarios, get you prepared. You better be prepared. You better be prepared right here, first and foremost. Boom, right there. You can do it. You can. That's right. The big reset's coming, you all. Oh, yeah. So yes, that's right. So you all, we got to use some wisdom, and we got to use some common sense. We really do. Mm-hmm. A lot of common sense. You could call some common sense wisdom. You really could, because it does. Grant us the sincerity of the mind to accept which cannot be changed. The courage to change that which can be changed, and the wisdom to know the one from the other. You may have known it like this. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Yeah. And let me just interject this. For the person who said, I am nothing but a Edomite woman and I'm going to be enslaved for 1,000 years, I blocked you for your comment. Oh, I did. I just want to throw that in there. Okay, I did. This ain't no time for dividing. It's not. So you got blocked. And then I put a word in. I put these certain words in my block list that you cannot, if the YouTube channel finds it, you're out of here. Your comment ain't even going to make it. So don't waste your time. I'm just going to tell you, don't come on here calling me a Edomite or speaking down to me or anybody else. Don't be doing it, because you're going to get out, out, out. We don't play. We're talking about the reset here. You are this great reset that is happening. I don't know why that popped into my mind like that. Maybe somebody was getting ready to say something. That's right. That's okay. I know that there's rude people in the world, but there's happy people in the world. There is. There's happy people in the world. And 90% of the population, really, in the heart, I like to say this on this channel, 99.9% are happy people. Very happy. That's right, you all. We can do it. Mm-hmm. That's right. And honey, if they have a blackout, can they still use any cell towers? Hey, that I bet they could, because they got what is the 5G, and well, if even if you got fiber optic, guess what? That's glass. It runs underground. That's right, you yeah. What goes down will be built back up much stronger and more powerful. When you build things up and they fall, they're gonna be room for rebuilding, restructuring of a society. They will. That's right, you all. So good morning to you. So are you ready for that reset? Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. The reset, because it's coming, you all. It is. And I think it has been attributed also, kind of tied to a Nasera Gesera thing. Yes. You are serving your purpose. You're done conversing with you. Peace. Moramar, is Moramar on here? Who is a Moramar? I have no idea who a Moramar is, but if you're not being respectful on here, don't comment. Yes, you are. Yeah, the Nasera, the Gesera, the reset. Um, Yeah, the world is changing. The world is changing. Um, that's right, you all. The world. To those who listen to Gina as a form of information. Oh, see now we get you. We can dish you. Let me see this. To the no destructive history and wars, all things recorded. Um, those. Let me see. No, I got my words. Moammar. She is right. These evildoers are making their last attempt to distract. Okay, yeah, they there's a distraction, but we are going to have this. We're having this, and that's all right. The Bitcoin and all this kind of stuff, and the crashing of the FTX and all of this. This is an experimental dollar is being rolled out, and they already have it. It's called the U.S. dollar tether, and it's on the stock exchange, the digital stock exchange. So they are going to involve financial companies, including MasterCard, Citigroup, HSBC Holdings, and Wells Fargo. They're going to do a 12-week experiment to work out a test for the creation of this right here on their credit cards, with using the credit cards itself. This is called a centralized bank digital coin, similar to the digital yuan. And then you'll have these two. You'll have the digital yuan and the digital dollar. They'll be playing it out, you all. They will be battling in the digital world. That's right. Someone said Madonna with a song, living in a material world. It needs to be living in a digital world. And I am whatever, you all, something like that. Yes. Let's see. Let me see what this Adon is saying. There's no hate, understanding what I'm saying. Nature will do the job if your government doesn't. Well, it will, kind of. It's like you guys don't understand when your ancestors thought they're saving us from the jungle. Adon, you, yeah. So, no, I don't totally agree with your statement because I think that you are trying to interject the Edomite things in there. And, yeah, that's what I think you're trying to do. I really think you're trying to do that at all. We're going to remove that comment. There, we got your comment removed, you all. That's right. Let's see this. Cash and food barter. That's right. So we are going to have a redistribution of the wealth, is what we're going to have. Redistribution of the wealth from wealthy countries, and it's going to third world countries. I will say this about South Africa. I like to go to Cape Town, South Africa, and Table Mountain, and there is a lot of activity that happens there, and we have documented light ships there in the clouds. These light ships are all over the world, you all. They are. And what's kind of sad is the majority of South Africans, they have to live in the squallows. The governments there, there's so much corruption in certain areas. They don't do the people right. They don't. These people are having to make do, living on shanty houseboats and stuff. They've literally been pushed, and that's where they let the overflow of the trash flows into the oceans, and these people have to live on their shanty boat. That's their way of life. That's their home. They were made promises and stuff, and they broke their promises there. Okay, they did. There is a lot of corruption that has got into these third world countries who once were thriving. They were, until evil came and wove its way into there. It did, you all. And it's still happening. Okay. And we have it in our own countries. There's pockets of every single country where there's a third world within the country. There's a third world within the country. Okay. I grew up my family was very poor family, low income. We lived in government housing. The most my dad made one year, $3,000. And we lived on food stamps. We had 5 children, government housing. Did I didn't have luxuries. I didn't. Okay. My dad came from a house with a dirt floor. Okay, that's how they lived. Dirt floor, no running toilet, outdoor toilet. I remember going to the outdoor toilets. If you make yourself an outdoor potty and do that, you all, if you don't know what it's like to be without and to make the best of what you've got, then it's kind of hard for you to even, get to that level and think about how hard it is for people. No running water. You carry your water from the creek, you use the water, and if you ain't got no clean water, then you really gonna have Yeah, it's rough. Anyhow, it's in South Africa. They came, the people in the villages, in these one villages, the electricity was so expensive, they wired up their own electricity so they could use their washer, their dryer, so they could have electricity to cook. Then they came in with the big trucks, you all. They did. I watched it in South Africa. They have this news program, you all. This is really wild. And I don't agree with it. I don't. These people, they finally they got electricity because they can't afford it. You can't afford the exorbitant rates of electricity. The I don't know who it was in charge. They came with big trucks. They ripped down the wires to these people's homes, through their wires, because they said, well, you're getting the electricity for free while we have to pay. There was a big cry by somebody. They didn't want them, the South Africans in this village or whatever it was, getting free electricity. So they came. Well, it helped them to survive. I can see why they did it. But they came and ripped all the cables down. They cut the cables. They had a big old truck full of cables. They went through the whole entire village and ripped it all down, and she was mad. She was mad that they were stealing electricity. She was. And there's two sides to the coin. There really is. But I can look at it I can put myself in those people's shoes. I can. You don't want to be without. You got a family and you can't afford to pay for it anyhow. You can't. And they come in and they take what you had to steal it. They call it stealing. You had to make do and get your electricity. There's plenty of electricity in this world to go around. There really is. There really is. Nobody should have to do without, you all. They should not have to do without. There's plenty of wealth. There's plenty of resources. There really is. If they are shared properly, there is. Yeah, I don't like seeing things like that, and I don't like it that happened. I don't. Well, we're talking about the reset, you all. That's what we're talking about. Yes, thou shalt not steal. And to them, maybe they weren't stealing. Maybe they weren't stealing, you all. They were trying to survive. They were in survival mode. And a lot of people are in survival mode their whole entire life. And it doesn't matter where you live, you're in survival mode. The goal is to survive. That's the only way of life they know, because they've never really been offered in that situation um, a different way, a different way. And that's why they have like missionaries come in and they go and teach the people how you can like make things to where your life is better, like clean water and all that kind of stuff. People can be, shown, if you're so isolated, you can be shown better ways of living and stuff that you may not have known, because information wasn't like digital information, internet and stuff. You could never got to there, you all. Yeah. Okay, listen to this. So we doing okay on here, you all? We didn't have to block nobody, right? Um, I don't think I blocked anybody. I don't, you all. But yeah, are we ready for the reset? Mm. Be ready for the reset, you all, because it's coming. It is, and they are. They're going to do their, at this G20. Yeah, you better have some survival instinct in it. They did have their G20 right here, and they're going to do their experiment. They're going to do their experiment, and they're going to have the Great Reset. And Mr. Schwab and Mr. Gates showed up, and they're going to do a 12-week run. It will take around 2 years to get it into the system, and it'll take a little bit longer for it to. So we're talking about 2025. That's what we're talking about. It's a magical date, 2024, 2025. It'd take a couple years for them to fully, like, not fully, but just get it up and kind of going. It's different than, using like money from your bank. It'll be totally different. You'll be using a whole entire different type of currency, which these uh, credit cards and stuff will accept. They may have you to convert into a certain currency. Hello there, you all. Yes, Dennis, honey, it's not reset, it's freedom. Doing great, thank you, Tata Georgia. I know I can't say your name. Sharon Chan, is it a very bad reset? For some, it may be very bad. Those who want to money launder, those who want to, for those who want to take their money and use it for evil purposes, for illegal purposes, it's bad for them because they no longer can hide. They can't hide you while they can't. You know that we saw this, how this was really strange because that happened really all of a sudden when they issued that edict. They want the Vatican entities to move all the funds back. And we covered this. We did by September the 30th. Move all the funds to the Vatican. We did do this. So he imposed a deadline, and there was no if, ands, or but. See, they had, look at this. He tightens control, the centralization of Vatican entities, because they're totally separate from everything. They are their own bank. They are their own. They're managed by the IOR. Okay, they did. They did. They got their own stuff ahead of time. They were given. So what if they get with they gave the date of August? So we are September. They had the whole month of September, October, November. They done this way ahead of time because I'm sure when this is implemented, they'll be able to go back. Well, once these digital things start flowing, there is a digital, like cookies. Okay, let's think of this, you all. You got some cookies? We got some cookies. Love you all. We got some cookies that is always on our computers. Every site you visit, there's cookies attached to that, and they say, delete your online history cookies. This site uses cookies. Why does this site use cookies, you all? Just think of the digital currency like that. It's got cookies attached to it. It does. It's got cookies attached to it. Just like these, you think you're sneaky, you all. Do you think you're sneaky when you go to these sites? These sites that nobody's going to see you at? Well, they got the cookie trail. You left a cookie trail. Isn't that neat? Isn't that interesting, I should say? How you have like people when they like, I don't know, they leave a trail behind for you to follow, and you have the digital cookies online. Yeah. From every site that you go to, you think, I did not go there. Hello, the computer, we got these cookies. You left a trail behind with these digital cookies. Yes, you did go there. This is the same thing with this digital dollar. There will be digital cookies everywhere that dollar changed hands. Everything that it was spent on, that particular type of currency. And they got a digital dollar. They got a digital dollar, the US dollar tether, that you can transfer your other assets into. Say if you got like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, I don't know, XRP, all this other kind of stuff that are up there, Litecoin, Maddox, Polygon, all this kind of stuff. You can transfer these into digital dollars, but they are doing an experiment, a 12-week experiment, and it will take. They did it. Mr. Schwab showed up with Mr. Gates. They came hand in hand to let them know how to do it, and you will have a redistribution of wealth from wealthy nations to the poorer nations. Okay, and it will. That's right. Yes, the Cookie Monsters. It sounds kind of scary if you think about it now. Yeah, all of that. How they gonna clean all the used Coke off? That's right. Um, so Thomas, see, that's a good question. Thomas Boyd, how they gonna clean all the used Coke off the cash to do it? That's right. So you would have to have something, this reset. If you go totally electronic, digital, you would have to have something happen to where people who are having their cash stored up at home and stuff to have to go out, those who refuse to use the digital thing, and they say, I'm not going to, whatever, they'll have to use their physical dollars to go purchase things, and they'll get a lot of it off like that. If they do a grid down and stuff, they'll get a lot of the physical stuff out. They would. Um, eh, they got things hardened. They can bring stuff up and they can bring it down, you all. But this reset, I know I've been going on. How, Gina, you've been going on for 34 minutes and 22 seconds. Are you ready for it? This reset, because it is coming, you all. And it is supposed to be put into place to stop the illegal activity that is occurring, the money laundering. There is a lot of money laundering that happens behind the scenes, and they can't track it. They want to track it. like where all this money went to. You have organizations that gather lots and lots of fundraiser monies, and sometimes that fundraiser money is funneled to other places and in physical form, and there is no trace. There's no trace. But there's going to be a trace now. That's right, we can do it. A singular singer girl, that's right. The reset is not great, but they said it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be great. It's all going to be wonderful. It's going to be great. We're going to have the Nasera Gasera, and they're going to level the playing field, and it's going to be wonderful. It's going to right the wrongs. It's going to do it all. Yeah, that's right. We need a reset of the heart, Michelle, honey. We do. A reset of this heart right here. Nasera is coming. And really, the Nasera thing, it is, it's not going to be a bed of roses. It's not. In order for that to happen, you're going to have a complete takedown. Complete takedown. But it's not going to do you no good if you have a complete takedown now and the same players get into the thing that's being rebuilt up. Why would the same players get into the thing that's being rebuilt? Because they are the things that are taking it down. They are the ones that are taking it down. It's it. You're going to be controlled, you all. You are. We're controlled anyhow. We just don't know it. Yes. It is inevitable, Donnie Payne, you all. Clean daily, looking, tape over your lens devices. And yes, we got to have some love, you all. Oh, my goodness, Mark Patchell, the rapture is Gitmo. Wow. It's kind of creepy. It really is kind of. Spiritual freedom, yes, Pike and Pytel. We got some spiritual freedom. Did we have some people exited on here, you all? Let me look at this, you all. Gina, let's see this. Blood raw. I see the difference. Gina better tell y'all about the prokaryotic and the eukaryotic cells. I would talk about the laminin in the bloodstream. The laminin. That's what I would say. The laminin. You ever see the video of the laminin? Yes, you have. That's right. You have you ever wondered why? Now let's talk about this. The genealogy.com, ancestor.com, and the great big database in, was it Utah, of everybody's ancestry, every single body's ancestry, who you connected to and stuff, and how you can take a sample, you send it in, and it tells you your ethnic origin. It does. It tells you where you come from. It does. And you know that they say that America, great American melting pot, great American melting pot, you know, the Schoolhouse Rock thing on Saturday mornings. Yeah, people come from all over the world. They're brought here to America, and we have a great big melting pot. The blending of civilizations and things like that. Yeah. So yeah, you can, like the ancestry.com, and the Mormon Church has all the, like that great big place in Utah, you are. Why? You really have to ask yourself. That is a massive, massive, massive database right there to figure out where you come from. And also, once they got that lineage and stuff, it's easier to track your whole entire family, your origins and stuff like that. I don't know how many generations they can track you back to. You can go so far, you can. But if you have American, if you have Native American in you, in your ancestries, you know that you can't go back so far because they changed the names. They changed the names, and when they did just think about this, the census, um, done every 10 years, a census is done, just like in Julius Caesar. Is that when he did the first census? Um, what- thousands and thousands of years ago. A census. Think about it. Just think about it. A census thousands of years ago was implemented. A census went out. Think about that spiritual power entity thousands of years ago, and then now we still have a census going out thousands of years later. That power never left. The power never left, you all. If you think about it, really wrap your mind around that. Why did they need such a thing way back then? What were they looking for? Really? They couldn't do the blood samples. They couldn't do physical DNA stuff, but they could track the ancestry. Um, they could. That's right. Um, so the power that was way back then, thousands of years ago, is still in place. This power is on this earth. It is on this earth. This is this power's kingdom. This power's kingdom. It is, you all. And I don't want to get into kingdoms, but kingdoms rise and kingdoms fall. Kingdoms are reorganized, rebuilt. We got a rebuilding of a kingdom on this earth, you all. We are. Got to be rebuilding right here. Mm-hmm. Right there. So really, it is happening. And there is going to be a 12-week experiment with this, you all. And they already got their own US dollar tether. They do. They got a US dollar tether. And they got a digital stock market. They do. And it's some of the holdings on the digital stock market are, recognized by the NASDAQ and the Dow and stuff. I was told that once you start hearing digital dollar, digital whatever in the mainstream news, it's getting closer and closer and closer once they start talking about this digital world, these cyber currencies and stuff. That's right. Most of you are related to someone like Constantine or Charlemagne. It's common. Yeah, they all have relations. Oh, I always like us saying, you all. So you can look up laminin. Laminin. Look it up, Laminin, or how you do it. Look up that. If you ain't seen the video on laminin, it's pretty wild. It is. So, but really, yeah, even if you try to look up your ancestries, and if you got Native Indian in you, Native ancestry, you can only go so far back because they changed it. They changed their names. You don't know what their names are. They were forced, to survive. They look. Listen, they had them fighting against one another. When the early whatever, there's been lots and lots of civilizations here for thousands and thousands of years. There's history in the United States and America of different civilizations that lived here thousands and thousands of years. There are. And they had the people fighting amongst themselves, and then you either joined the people who were conquering the people, or you're just gonna go. You're just gonna go. They're fighting against themselves to take over. Okay, I don't like it. I don't. Do I like it that I can only trace my mom's ancestry back a few years because of the lineage? Mulatto? No, I don't like it. There's a dead end. The trail ends. It ends. And I can only go back so far because they just labeled mulatto. That's it. Just labeled it. And I'm sure if you've ever done the ancestry, the genealogy thing, it only goes back so far, and you too come to a dead end because they wiped the trail. They covered the trails. There were no digital cookies. They left behind no cookies, no trail for you to follow. They left it out. They left the trail out, is what they did. They left it out in that case. Really. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Scott, I've heard of that. The 23andMe, some people have done it. Some people said they've done something with the sample that you got and used it maybe for something else. But we have a reset coming, a civilization reset. Rich to profit, honey. Thank you, Gina. for all that you do. Hi, everyone in this chat this morning. I'm at work. I'm just stopping by for a quick second. Love you, Rich, honey. Yeah. So, you all, this is, yeah, so there's so much going on. So the reset is coming. It's coming, you all. And it's been primed and pumped to be good. And it's going to be good for a lot of people. But how can I say it? There's strings attached. There's some strings attached to it. And at the end of those strings, you're not able to see what's attached to the end of those strings right now. You're not. Some people know what's attached at the end of those strings of this reset. And some people, they think there is none. They think it's all good. And it's all good for some. It is. But for others, it's no, it's not free. It's not. It's not, you all. There's strings attached, and you may not like what's at the end of that string. You may not. You may not. My advice to you is get strong on the inside of here. Get yourself prepared spiritually right there. It's been my advice. I've never used the advice before, but I just said you got to be prepared spiritually. I've been saying it for years. I have right on the inside of here. Prepare yourself. And I hope you can somehow get some wisdom. Pray for wisdom and knowledge and understanding within here. You get it in here, you all, and get the strength you need. Get your body in shape. Get your body in shape. Get your life in order. Get your house in order. Get your spiritual house in order. You got spiritual family. You ever thought about that? Sometimes spiritual family has more bonds than the physical family. Isn't that strange? You're connected spiritually. And how can that be unless you've known someone spiritually before you came to this earth? Really. You had a spiritual connection before you even came to this earth. On the inside of here, some people talk about soul contracts, you all. Soul contracts. You made a contract. Yeah. To be with your brothers, your soul brothers and sisters. That's right. A soul contract to be with your soul brothers and sisters on this earth. Spiritual contract. And things like that of that nature. You are the Great Reset is coming. A reset is coming. They met with the G20. They had prestigious guests, Mr. Gates and Mr. Schwab. That's right, they did. And they're doing a trial run, a 12-week. So that's 3 months. 3 months, 12 times, 3 times 4 is 12. So if there's 4 weeks in a month, ask yourself. Okay, this is a rabbit hole. Ask yourself, why 12 weeks? Why do you want to run this for 3 months? They say it takes 3 months for a habit to form. Do they say that? Well, no, that'd be 3, 6, 9. That'd be 3, 6, 9. 30, 60, 90, something like that. Why do they say 12 weeks? Somebody says something's happening in January of next year. Something's coming in January of next year. They did. And I don't know what they're talking about. There's so many you all. There's a lot of time. Susan, honey, thank you for being on here, really. There's so much prophecies and predictions that are being made by people throughout social media, on websites and stuff. And I don't know. It's interesting to hear about them all. There really is, because you never know, because some of them pan out and the majority of them do not pan out. They just get they get bumped up to the next timeline. They do, you all, they do. Your insurance is changing and to fit the rollout. We've seen TR3Bs, you all. Hello there, Anna Lusk. We're supposed to be in the Aquarius. That's the time of equivalent change. Oh, I never knew that. A time of equivalent change. Let me see. Let's see this. Gina, honey. We did, and you're fine. Your mom's and real dad, you found them. But Calvin is one of the names in our DNA. Yeah, see, in there, that's on my dad's side. And my mother's side, well, it's it's another story. Yeah, I can't really find it. I can't find it. I come to a dead end on both sides of mine's, on my mother's and my dad's. You come so far and there's a dead end. You're not able to go all the way back for some strange reason. It just like cuts it off right there. Right there, you all. Um, yeah. Well, they got a digital go. They do, you all. They got a digital goad that they can use. The age of Jubilee. I'd like to have a Jubilee. Well, you can have a Jubilee in your heart. You can right here, you all. A Jubilee right in here. Right. I was told, Gina, honey, YouTube does not like you to do long videos. They don't like you to do long videos because not too many people are going to want to sit there and listen to a long video. They'd rather you do short videos. That's why they come out with short videos. That way you get more views with short videos. And you probably do if you got something catchy. But I like to do long videos. I do because I like to be able to have a conversation on here. I like for you all to be able to comment with long videos because it's good to connect. It's really good to connect. And there's all different it's all different things we want to say. Oh, I didn't make my you all on my community section. Every day I'm going to put a daily update thing. I didn't put one today because I got on here. And it's you can comment in your comment section if you got something you want to share. It's like a blog. You can share it with everyone on there. That way, if the YouTube videos weren't working or something and you had a message you wanted to get out, the community section where you can type, somehow the typing don't don't get affected. The community section thing don't get affected like the YouTube videos, I guess, because it's a different form of media when you can just type. So it's been 2 days in a row on this YouTube channel in the community section where you can go there and, and just, if you got an update, you got something you want to share that some people may not know about, um, you can do it. Like right here. I just started it. I started it, today's update. I started it on the 23rd. And, some people have commented in here. And then I did one yesterday. If you've got anything you want to share, you can share that in there, any updates or something from wherever you are in any part of the world. That right there. You know what they got? This, I don't know if anybody else has this. If you have a YouTube channel, they always got me on 2 screens. Am I being cloned? Am I being cloned, you all? That just popped in my mind. You're on 2 screens. What if I'm being broadcasted in a parallel universe? Really, you've got to think about that. Is this going out in a parallel universe? A parallel world? Am I being cloned? You see, this is weird. That is weird. If you got a YouTube channel or you got a double one, that's right. I don't want to be. In the name of Jesus, I don't want to be cloned. I don't. Um, there's a lot of people who are old souls. A whole lot of people. I'm an old soul. And you probably been told that you're an old soul. You probably been told you are an old soul. Oh, soul. Susan, honey, it is strange. Yes, Tony Rivera, you so welcome. If you're a YouTuber, while you're doing a live, you go over there and see if you got a double screen. This has been happening for 2 weeks now. 2 weeks. I don't know if it's something in their system that they're doing or what. We could be in a different dimension. They can't clone. Well, OB, honey, let me see. Do I got this OB? OBZRV. They did Dolly the sheep. Dolly the sheep was the first. Now they can take it and they can clone it. Dolly the sheep. And they've done other clones with animals too. They've done it. So I don't know about that, but I do know they did that. Yeah. And you can have designer babies too. You can have designer babies and stuff like that. They do that kind of stuff. Yeah. Um, oh, that's wonderful, you all. Gypsy Blue. I don't know about that. I really don't. If they can't, if they've got the technology, they can do all kinds of things. They can. Do I agree with it? No, I don't. I don't agree with the use of some technology that is used for evil. I don't. I do agree with using technology for the betterment of humanity, not just a segment of humanity, the bulk of humanity. I do agree with using technology for that. If you can bring good out of it, I would. If there's anything out there that has good that you can bring forth with it, I'm all for it. I really am. I'm all for the betterment of humanity as a whole. They cloned the people. Yeah. So you all, I'm gonna go. I went on too long. I'm 55 minutes and 44 seconds on this. And the reset is coming. There, you've heard about the reset. It is coming. I'm circled right back around to the target, to the target, to the topic. A reset is coming, and you probably heard it by different names. And they're doing a 3-week trial run, a 3-month trial run. They decided that they were going to do it right here. Just look it up. Just look up, just use this G20 and the reset, G20 and the reset, because you can do that. You can see it right here. Just do it. So when you start seeing more and more articles talking about it, you know it's getting closer and closer. And they say they're doing this so they can they can stop money laundering and things like that. And just like you have cookies of every site you go to on your computer, every site that I went through, let me see this. If I go to my history and just see if I do clear recent history. Here's the history. Yeah, this is the cookies that I'm talking about. Cookies. You may not be aware of it, but everything you do, every place you go leaves a digital trail right here, a digital trail. And even if you did this or that and this and that, I don't delete it because I ain't got nothing that I don't want them to look at. I don't. And I don't care because they're going to track me anyway. They're going to track you. But this is online. When they do this one thing, right here you see the cookies and stuff. Like, you think it's just the cookies that they're collecting when you go to there. But that's the trail, the digital trail. With this right here, they will, well, we got a serenity prayer. They will be able to track everywhere your digital money goes, every single track, because it's going to be digital. That's where the algorithms come into play. That really is where the algorithms come to play. That's where quantum computing comes into play. Quantum computing. That's where it comes into play, you all. That's right. It's going to be instantaneous. Quantum computing. Quantum financial system. Okay. Quantum financial system. Digital currency. The reset. All of it. Wealth distribution from wealthy countries to poor countries. All of it. Do you have a say-so in it? No, you don't. What can you do about it? Make the best of this world you live in. Stay centered inside of here. Build yourself up spiritually. Get yourself grounded and anchored. Get yourself anchored in the name of Jesus, in the name of Yahweh, Yeshua, love, whatever you want to say. Anchor yourself so you can withstand the storms of life that comes and the big gigantic waves from the oceans of life that beat against your soul. Get yourself grounded so you can withstand all that comes your way. So I am going to go, you all. I am. And thank you all for your comments. I may not agree with everyone, and I really don't like to block anybody. If you're not right out rude, I'm not going to block you. Neither is Susan, honey. She don't like to block people either. We just don't want you to be a derogatory speaking down to me person. You all get yourself anchored. Thank you, Susan, honey. I really do appreciate you being on here. I do. And I know it was a pretty good chat. That's right. So I'm going to go. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello from my heart to yours.